I'm sharing with you my best in beauty products for the year of 2016. I cannot believe we're already at this point in the year where it's time to share the favorites. I have discovered a lot of good products, and this is probably one of my most favorite types of videos to do because it's actually very easy for me to sit here and talk to you guys about my favorite products because these are things that I truly love, products that I really recommend, products that I've used for quite some time that have not disappointed me, so I feel very good about giving you guys these types of recommendations on these products. And you know, of course, I share my favorite products throughout the year with you, but this is just a roundup of everything that has been a standout product for me for the entire year. So we're going to start off with products for the eyes. That is the area in makeup where I feel like I play around with the most products. I switch up liners, I switch up liner styles, I do different eyeshadow looks almost all the time. Sometimes the looks look very similar because they have similar tones and color. But in general, I think I'm more, I don't want to say a risk taker with my eyeshadow products, but I do love testing out eyeshadows, so you will see a ton of eyeshadow products. When it comes to like face products, when I find certain ones, especially like foundation, concealer that work, I stick with those for a very long time. But eyeshadows, eyeliners, sometimes even mascara, I'm willing to sort of try different things and use different products every single day and switch it up month to month. So I have discovered some really great products for eyes, and I first want to do a little shout out to the Rimmel London Scandaleyes eyeshadow pencil crayon type things. These are wonderful. I have talked about these so much. I've even done a video on these, and I've talked about how these are just so easy to use. You can literally just scribble it on, blend it out with a finger. I like to use a synthetic kind of like dome style brush to buff it out and buff it into the crease so there aren't any harsh lines. And these are actually wonderful quality. They're very, very pigmented. And the best part is that they're readily available at any drugstore for just a few bucks. And I personally don't think that you have to spend a lot of money on cream like jumbo shadow sticks because there are some great ones, and I think that these Rimmel ones are really, really great. And my favorite one out of all of them that I've tried is the number 11 Bluffing, which is a pretty kind of taupey type color. And as you can see from a distance there, it's kind of like a kind of grayish taupey color with a subtle kind of purpley undertone. It has a beautiful shimmer to it, and I just love that. That is probably my most used. I need to sharpen it because there is a little nub there. Another one that I like is in this sort of duo double-ended thing where you have like a liner on one side and then the actual cream shadow stick on the other. And this is in a really beautiful copper color, and it's just, as you can see, so incredibly pigmented. And it's like butter when you put these on your eyes, and it's so great. Alright, so for liners, I have just a few that I really like, and the first one is the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny. This is a very tiny pencil. This is actually really great for tight lining. If you want to do a very quick line on the very root of the lashes to make them look a little thicker, you can use something like this because of the fine, very, very tiny points. It's so easy to use this to tight line. I mean, it's a really nice color. I do notice that if I get a little too close to the inner corner as I blink and, you know, go about my business throughout the day, it does sort of kind of transfer in the inner corner, so you just have to kind of blend that away. So I don't bring this in all the way. I just sort of stick to this kind of upper area. And it works really great, inexpensive, and it glides on the waterline very well. I also use it when I do liner in the lower waterline, which is not very often because I like to keep the eyes looking pretty big, and when you put something really dark in the waterline, it's going to close off the eyes. So I try to keep everything as balanced as possible, especially when I do such a thick liner on the upper lashes. I also really do like the Tartiest Tarteist Clay Paint Liner. Comes in a little tube like this. And this isn't just the black shade. This is a very unique formula, unique packaging as well. It has a squeeze tube, which is wonderful because you can use up every bit of product. But then you have like a little bit of a, I don't know, like a little tray type thing at the very tip of it. So you can actually work from the tip of it with a bent eyeliner brush, which you do get one with this, or just any angle liner brush, and you can create a very seamless line. The formula of this is like a cross between a gel and a liquid formula. It's not as liquidy as a liquid, but it's not as thick as a gel kind of pot style liner. It's a very unique formula, and it's a very black formula, and it's quite nice, and it's a very rich color. So I do like the black shade, and I do know that for the holidays they created a set of different colors. So there's like a black, a bronze, I think a navy, and possibly like a plum shade. And they're obviously mini sizes, but if you're interested in trying different colors, maybe if black eyeliner is not your thing, they do have them, but I think that's a limited edition thing, and I think that the only one that's permanent is the black. I could be wrong, but if you're interested, you know, definitely check out the Tarte website, which I will have those sites linked down for you below. The next liner, before I get into like my most favorite mascara and stuff, I want to show this product. I haven't had it for very long, but I really, really like it, and I've really enjoyed the finish. I've enjoyed the application process of applying this liner, and I can see this being like the top of the top for me, like being a favorite of mine. And it's the Lancome Grandiose eyeliner, and it comes like in little like pot form like that, and you just have to kind of unscrew it, and there is your, you know, classic liner, and it's a very liquidy formula, but the finish of it is absolutely incredible, you guys. Like, it's so kind of like a plush kind of satiny finish. It's matte, but without being too matte, and there's no sheen to it. There's no glossy finish. It's beautiful. I'm wearing that today. It's pretty unique because you can do one of these little numbers here and sort of manipulate the cap and bend it. So it's called the Bendable liner. I think that's what it's called. The next product, just quickly, I want to mention is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue. Comes in a squeeze tube like this. I actually got this pretty cheap at Nordstrom Rack a while ago, and I use this occasionally when I use glitter eyeshadow. Now, I'm not one to use a lot of glitter eyeshadows, but I got some amazing ones that I'm going to show you here in a little bit. I am not a glitter fan, just because typically when you use glitter eyeshadows, you associate that with lots of fallout. It gets all over the place. But this product does definitely help with that. You apply it. I personally just use my fingers, pat it over my lids, pat it directly over an eyeshadow, and then pat on top of that the glitter eyeshadow. You can use it with pigments as well. It's got that sticky, kind of tacky feel, so it's going to make everything sort of stick to the lids. And that's important when you're using glitter, because everything is going to stick to this primer and it's not going to fall out. And I noticed that when I use this, there's less fallout that I have to clean up under my eyes. So this is really a good product to have if you're into glitter eyeshadows. Now for mascara, for the lower lashes, I like to use the Wet n Wild Mega Wear Mascara. It comes like in a tube like this from the drugstore. It's really inexpensive. I mean, my tube is pretty disgusting, but I will still show you what the wand looks like. It's a very thin wand, and the bristles are cut very short. I don't like this formula at all for the upper lashes. I don't think that it's worth using it for the upper lashes, but for the lower lash line, I think it's great. It's what I've been using. I have it on today. I wear it every single day. And what I love about this, and what's so impressive of this mascara in general, just the whole construction of the product itself, is that from the beginning, when I pull this tube out, it is absolutely clean. There isn't any gunk, any goop, any excess product. Even the very tip of the wand, which typically I have to kind of wipe off on most mascaras, I don't have to do that with this. I don't have any issues with this smudging, and it works great. I found mine at the Dollar Tree for a freaking $1. I mean, you can't really complain too much about it, and it works really well for the lower lash line. Another mascara that I really like is the Almay One Coat Multi Benefit. This one gives you a very natural definition. It's going to highlight every single lash, but it's going to give you a natural look. It's not going to be something that gives you that dramatic look. So if you want something more dramatic, stay tuned because I've got a good one. This one actually has little bits of little fibers that are in the formula, and maybe you can see that's not my eyelashes stuck to the wand. That's actually little fibers that's in this formula. The brush itself is quite big and very full, but the bristles are very packed, like jam-packed in there, which I feel like does help with the lift and separation. I have tried mascaras that have wands like this or even bigger wands, but there's so much space between the bristles that they just don't work. This one works very well because all the bristles are just very cut short, has a tapered point, but there's a lot of bristles very close together. So as you're applying this formula to your lashes, you're not only applying it very evenly, but you're also lifting and separating, which I like. Now, if you are like me and you like drama lashes, like the ones that I have right now, this is so good. It's the Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara. It comes in a beautiful black and gold tube. I absolutely love the packaging, but the formula, amazeballs. This gives me everything that I want. I have the length, I have the volume, I have the separation, I have the drama, I have the thick lashes, I have that black just bold impact with the lashes without clumps. It's like everything that you want just housed in a perfect formula, a perfect packaging, a perfect brush. It is everything to me, and I love it so much that I actually have a backup. So this is what it looks like when you go to the store, Ulta or Sephora. It's going to have a really pretty packaging. And just to show you, this is not an empty box, you guys. I do have 2 of these because I absolutely love them. And this one actually that I'm holding right now that I use today is, I probably have maybe a couple more weeks on it, and it's done. And I'm going to bust out this new one because I freaking love this. This is actually a funny story, and I mention it every single time because I actually got this mascara in a mini version and absolutely freaking hated it. I thought this was the worst mascara on the planet, but I ate my words because everybody kept saying on YouTube how great this was. This was great. This was wonderful. You have to try it. This is game changer. And I thought, really? Because the mini that I have is pretty daggone awful, and it's clumpy. The lid wasn't closing. I could just keep twisting and twisting, and I thought to myself, how is this wonderful? Like, this is just not good. And a lot of people like to buy minis before committing to a full size. I do that all the time. That's how I discovered a lot of mascaras. But sometimes the minis are even better than the full sizes. Sometimes they're worse than the full sizes. Like in this case, I would just recommend if you're wanting to try this, go straight for the full size. Do not even bother with the minis. Don't even bother with it because the mini that I got came in a mascara set from Sephora and it was just awful. If I only used that, I would never recommend this. But going to the full size, there's just such a difference in the formula. I don't know what it was, but this is just incredible. Like, this is why I don't wear false eyelashes, because I have long lashes to begin with, but I have everything that I look for and everything that I would get from a set of false eyelashes I get with this mascara. So I highly recommend this. It's wonderful. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about my favorite eyeshadows. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and before I get into that, I'm just going to quickly mention my brow products because there's only really 2 that really stand out to me. The first one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. This is the triangular one. They do have the micro brow one that's very, very fine, and I love that. That's a really great brow pencil to use, but this is a fairly new one, the triangular one, and it's perfect if you have thick brows like I do. I just think that this makes doing my brows so incredibly easy. It's got that triangular tip, which I feel like is quite different than most of the brow products that I have tried. The formula is really great. It glides on. I mean, Anastasia herself, she's the queen of brows, so of course, anything that they make for brows is going to be absolutely incredible. It's got a spoolie on one end so you can kind of comb through it. That's what I have on today with the next product, which is the Benefit Gimme Brow. I love this. As you guys can see, cute packaging. I wear the shade number 3 in the Gimme Brow. I've done a video on how I do my natural brows when I'm going to run errands, when I just want to do something quick with my brows without doing pencil, without doing brow powders and pomades and all that stuff. Like, this does give me a lot of volume in my sparse areas because there's little, like, I guess like tiny little fibers in here. I don't know. It's just it's different, the formula. The brush is very, very small. I mean, mine is, it's so disgusting. Like, I'm not even going to show you guys that. But as you guys can see, the brush is super, super tiny. And I just discovered this product in September, and it just blew me away. And I thought, why have I never given this an opportunity and given it the time of day? But this is actually very wonderful for natural looking brows. If you, like me, you want to put a little bit of something over a pencil just to kind of make everything even and smooth, this is wonderful. Highly recommend both of these products. They're my favorite, obviously. Okay, eyeshadows. Buckle up because this is going to be pretty long. I've got some really good stuff. Okay, so let's talk about Tartiest in Bloom. This is my favorite palette, one of my favorites, I should say. The packaging is absolutely darling. I love this. This is from Tarte. This came out several months back. It's got a really nice mirror. Mine is pretty disgusting, so I'm going to show it to you upside down. It's a very neutral palette. I mean, what can I say? There's some light highlight shades, there's some kind of mid-tone shades, and there is some dark shades so that you can do some lining, you can do some outer V, deepening of the eye area. I mean, you could do so much with this, and it's got a couple little bit of kind of satiny, shimmery, metallic finishes like Firecracker and Rocker. Both of those are very sort of metallic in color and in finish. And then here's the other one. Everything else besides these 3 are all matte, and they are incredibly pigmented. That's a secondary swatch, as you can see from fingers to the back of my hand. They are very, very pigmented. And sorry if the lighting has changed. The sun went behind a cloud, so everything kind of got a little dark. Hopefully it can kind of come back. Anyways, moving on. The Viseart palette. I know this is very expensive and it's ridiculous how expensive this is, but it's actually very, very good. These are the colors. Again, just very neutral, very basic. I mean, it doesn't get any more basic than this. This literally has every crease color you need, every transition shade, every, you have liner shades, you have a black, you have a brown, you have a nice kind of warm tone color, you have some subtle kind of peach colors, you got 3 different variations. I did a video on this back when I lived in Colorado, so that was, last 2015. I want to say it was like fall in 2015 that I did a video of all the ways to Viseart, whatever. And I actually use this for a lot of steps besides just eyeshadow. I used it for brows. I used it for contour. I think I bronzed with this. I used it for eyeshadow, my brows. Like I did it, set my under eye concealer. Like I did all of those things with this one palette. So in a way, that video sort of helped kind of bring some light into different ways to use this instead of just thinking of, okay, this is so expensive and it's just eyeshadow. There's so much more you could do with this. So if you're interested in that, I will have that video linked below and also above my head so you can tune in and see that. Let's talk about the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. This is primarily what I'm wearing today for eyeshadow. It is absolutely beautiful. I love the packaging. My favorite color is pink, so of course I love this. And the beautiful little hearts is just, it's like a beautiful little touch to it, but it's kind of magical on the inside. And all of the eyeshadows, except for the 2 larger ones, are in the shapes of hearts. Of course, it's upside down. Let me just show it to you like this. There we go. This is just beautiful. Like, the colors are great. I love this. And I've had this for a very long time. And I just love it. Like, I have this color here called Almond Truffle, just in my crease with one of the Tarte shades from the In Bloom palette. I don't use this type of shade here, this hot pink color, very often, this Totally Fetch, but it is very pretty. They're very, very pigmented. You have some kind of cooler tones. You have some mid-tones. You have some kind of warmer, darker brown. This Bordeaux, beautiful. It's what I have on the lower lash line today. I love it, and it smells like cocoa. It's just a really, really great palette. So if you're looking for a good palette from Too Faced to get your hands on, this is definitely one that I would recommend. So the next one that I just kind of want to quickly run over because I don't think it's available anymore unless it's on the Too Faced website. It's the Too Faced Totally Cute palette. I just think this is just so darling. My son, who is actually a 4-year-old now, he actually put the stickers on there for him. So I gave him total control over this, and that's what we ended up doing together. And he put a couple stickers in the back for me. And it's just so cute, and it's different. I love the colors, and it is quite messy because I do like using these shades to highlight. You've got some really bold colors in there with that green and that pink color, but I mean, the quality of Too Faced in general is pretty incredible. I think the quality of the eyeshadows that they put out is really great. Even though this isn't available anymore, I don't think, I just wanted to mention it because it's really cool. The fact that you can customize it. Everyone that has this palette, obviously theirs looks different because you can put the stickers any way you want, or you can omit the stickers if you like. But I thought that was really sweet, and it's a little sentimental to me because my son actually did that, so I just wanted to mention that really quickly. Moving on. The Makeup Revolution palette, the Neutrals versus Neutrals. This is actually a really good palette. This came out right around the time that Too Faced released their peach palette, and it gives you those kind of peachy vibes. It comes with a double-ended brush, which I personally don't really use. I have better brushes that I prefer, but the quality of the eyeshadows are absolutely beautiful, and they are great. I recently did use some of these shades in a tutorial, and you have some kind of pinky shades here that kind of remind me of the Naked 3, I believe, from Urban Decay. That's the one with the kind of purpley kind of tones. You have these peachy kind of colors that is very similar to the Too Faced Peach palette. You have some of these kind of browns and kind of taupey shades that I think are kind of similar to some of the shades in the Naked 2 palette, which is more of like a cooler tone palette overall. You have some light shades. You can highlight with some of these. I mean, in general, a great range of colors. You can do something very kind of berry and festive for the holidays, something very soft and natural. These are just sort of quick swatches. I'm not going to really get into swatches. And let's do that berry color because that is like, hello. You see, very, very pigmented. I'm not going to swatch a lot of stuff in this video because that will take a lot of time. if you trust my opinion and, you know, my recommendations, then you will love that if that's something that you're into. And let's just talk about this next palette, because let's get rid of that. Makeup wipe. This is amazing. The Urban Decay Moondust palette. This is absolutely incredible. This has made me into a glitter eyeshadow lover. As I said before earlier in the video, I'm not a glitter fan, but using these over the primer from Too Faced, the glitter glue, like, there's absolutely no fallout. I like to use these just by applying them directly over my eyelids with my finger. I apply them directly over an eyeshadow. I have foiled these. I have done everything with these, and it's just so beautiful and so magical. The colors, the formula, look at that. It's just yummy. Look at this. Look at this. It's like glitter with a pigmented eyeshadow base. Like, yes. This one is called Lithium, this one here. And I will just kind of swatch these just quickly. They do look incredible on the lids on their own. You can get some of these colors individually, and I think that they came out with like a cream version, which I do want to try that, get my hands on that. This one called Element is so cool because it's a duochrome finish, so it looks kind of copper, but then it looks orange when you kind of orange, copper, pinky kind of color. Very different, very unique. I would say this is worth it. So I would definitely go the route of this palette, or in this form here like this, because you get more colors. Of course, each of these are not the same amount as the full sizes, but I mean, I can't say anymore. It's just too good. And then to round off the eyeshadow section of this video, I do want to mention this, although this is fairly recent. I did get it during the Sephora VIB sale that was in early November. I have to mention it because I really love this. I really feel like this palette is absolutely incredible. The quality, the range of colors, it's got some basic colors, it's got some pops of color put together. The whole range of it is pretty unique. And I'm talking about the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. I just personally wish that this palette was a little bit more condensed. Somehow, some way, keep it in the same amount of product and colors and variety, but just make it more travel friendly, I should say, because this thing is ginormous. Like, look at that. You can't travel with this. Can't. It's not possible. This right here makes me so happy. Like, I just love everything about this palette. The colors, they blend very well. They're super pigmented. These Metal Crush here, perfection in every single way. They are just creamy as all get out. Oh my gosh, my finger's stained. But let's do this one. I did a look with this. It's kind of like a silvery color with a subtle kind of green undertone, like a green hint to it. It's just perfection. They're buttery, they're smooth, they're creamy. It's like, look at that. Like, you just want to rub this all over your face. At least I do. I mean, I may be the only one, but this is just so great. You've got some pinks. You got a yellow. I mean, who puts a yellow in their palettes? Nobody does these days because not a lot of people want to work with yellow. But it's so pigmented, and it's magical. It's everything. That green, stop it. It's so good. Look at that. I did a whole look where I wanted to slap this all over my eyeballs. So I will link that tutorial down below. This blue, it is yummy. It's called Velour. Yes. Look at that. That's a secondary swatch. And I still have some where I can do maybe a lighter swatch. So they're very, very pigmented and they last all day. And so even though this is not something, look at that, it's staining the back of my hand. Even though it's not something that I've had for a very long time, I do feel comfortable recommending it because I've used it pretty regularly since November and I have not been disappointed at all. Alright, so that rounds up this portion of the video. This is all of my favorite eye products for the entire year. I feel like everything that I mentioned in this video is absolutely wonderful. I've not been disappointed with anything that I've mentioned. Eyeshadows, the shadow sticks, the mascara, the liner. I mean, everything that I have used over the last year has been up and down. You know what I mean? Like, you try different things and you find things that you love. You find things that you hate. And everything in this video is things that I love. And this is why, as I said before, this is the easiest type of video for me to do because I can sit here and talk on and on and on about each and every one of these products, but I hope that this video wasn't too long for you, and I hope that you found something that you would be willing to try. I will list everything down below so you can screenshot it if you're interested, and then you have yourself a shopping list the next time you go shopping for makeup. But I really hope that if you try any of these products that they work for you and that you love them as much as I do. I do appreciate you all for tuning in, for watching my videos, for subscribing, for always commenting and being there and being so supportive and loving. It's the reason why I keep doing YouTube and why I keep looking forward to posting videos and creating videos for you guys, because you guys are just absolutely wonderful. And I do appreciate you guys for supporting me throughout this year of 2016. It was good and bad. As most years, I mean, you have up and down moments throughout the year, but I honestly feel like, my dog is trying to jump on my lap. I honestly feel like this year has been good, and I just appreciate you guys for being here with me and just going through this journey. And of course, we're going to continue with this journey in 2017. So thank you so much for joining me for this part of the video, and stay tuned because part 2 will be coming out very soon. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye. Want to say bye, Kitty? Want to say bye?